And welcome on in, everybody, to the Jazz Huddle. We are back with yet another post-game report, and it comes after the Utah Jazz pick up their first victory on the road this season. To improve to 2-0, the scoreboard was made before we won the game, so that's why it says 1-0. The Utah Jazz improved to 2-0 on the young season and pick up a gritty, tough road win against the Sacramento Kings. This was a game we were coming in expecting to win, but expecting to be close. I had us winning by 5. Blake had us winning by 3. And it was a tight game all the way throughout until around 2 minutes ago in the fourth quarter. And the Jazz just opened up a 2-point lead to a 9-point lead, which is ultimately what the Jazz won by. But you go back and you look at the game earlier, and it just started off with a bunch of struggles. The Kings got to work early. It was back and forth, a high-paced tempo game. It looked like it was going to be a high-scoring affair. Actually, it was a pretty low-scoring affair for these two teams. The over-under was set at 227. Only 211 points scored in this game tonight. But it looked at first it was going to be a fast-paced, quick-tempo game. It ended up not being that. It still felt fast-paced, but it felt fast-paced because of a lot of miscues and turnovers coming from both sides. Early, it was Sacramento who was turning over the ball earlier, but as the game went on, especially late in that second, early in that third, it was the Jazz turning the ball over an excessive amount of times. A lot by Donovan Mitchell. You can really pinpoint anybody, and I'm sure they have a turnover. I can, recall in my head when Rudy Gobert dropped an easy dunk, but he dropped it, turned into 3 points down on the other end for Sacramento. There were multiple times in the game where the Jazz, turned the ball over, and it led to a Kings basket. There's a play in the Kings in the fourth quarter when Buddy Hield threw it to Tyrese Haliburton, and Tyrese Haliburton had to save it from going out of bounds, and it led to the Jazz going up 4 to going up 7 late in the game, which really put the game away for the Jazz. And so those turnovers were so key on both sides, but that's definitely something the Jazz are going to have to fix up going against tougher teams. Sacramento's a gritty team. They're a tough team. I truly believe that the Kings are going to be a playing team this year. I got them at the 9th seed at my projection. But when you're facing teams off like the Nuggets, who we see on Tuesday night, that's going to be a game where we've got to be disciplined, not to turn the ball over in a high amount like we did in this game. Other than that, this game, really for the Jazz, was fine after the first half. We were down 6 going into halftime. We took a late lead in the third quarter off a Jordan Clarkson step-back 3. Jordan Clarkson always seems to show up to play tonight, or show up to play every single night. And then it was Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley really leading the charge in that fourth quarter for the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell finished with 27 points on the night. Really had himself a solid night if you look at the scoring. But if you look at the chart, 9 of 25 shooting, that's definitely something he's going to want to improve on later on in the year. And that's something we're going to need him to improve on. 27 points, it's solid, yes, no doubt. But 9 of 16 shooting, or 9 of 25 shooting, definitely not where you want to be. But Bogdanovich had a very productive second half. O'Neal, I don't know if he scored any point. No, he knocked down a 3. But his aggressiveness, creating offensive rebound opportunities, very active on the glass tonight. His rebound numbers might not show for it, but Royce O'Neal 100% had an impact tonight. I'm trying to think of who else. Mike Conley was feeling it from downtown tonight. He had a really, really good rhythm going. And let me shout out Davion Mitchell for the Kings. That dude is an absolute stud on the defensive side of the ball. Man will lock you down. There were a couple times, he tied Donovan Mitchell up one time. Donovan Mitchell got him back the next possession. But there was just another time Donovan Mitchell tried to step back 3 thing, and Davion was all over it, forced him to throw how do I phrase this? Donovan Mitchell had to force the shot so bad, it was harder than the LeBron shot that LeBron hit against the Wizards in that crazy overtime game. And Davion Mitchell played some lockdown defense. And there was, of course, a couple plays, where he wasn't. But 95% of the time, Davion Mitchell, whenever he was on his guy and they would try and make a move, they'd have to pass out just because he was that effective on the defensive side of the ball. And I was very high on him coming into the draft. I really, really wanted the Jazz to trade up for him, and he's living up to that hype on the defensive side of the ball. Definitely needs to improve on the offensive side of the ball. Haven't seen much impact from him yet. Not a lot of playmaking as I thought I would have seen from him. But Davion Mitchell really showed up tonight. But for the Jazz, they pick up another win, and that's all you can do. The Jazz win. They improved it 2-0, and you can't ask for much more than a win. Obviously, there's improvements that need to be made, whether it's rebounding the basketball was a big issue tonight. Hassan Whiteside got outboxed a lot. So did Rudy Gobert. But those are, nitpicking at a 9-point win that the Jazz just had. But the Jazz will be back on Tuesday. So 3 days off for the Utah Jazz before they're back in action against the Denver Nuggets. And Blake and I will be live for that game at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. So that is for sure going to be a fun one. Those two always have some great battles like they did in the playoffs. And then that crazy game last year, that shootout where Bogdanovich had 48 points. So hope you guys enjoyed the postgame report. If you did, make sure to smash up the like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you never miss any of these postgame reports or a live stream here on the Jazz Huddle. And until Tuesday, we will see you guys later. Have a nice night, everybody.